You were with Coach Leipold for a long time, and I know it would have taken a lot to get you to leave, right? And this place was it for you. What were the things that made this the place you wanted to be for the next step in your career?
Yeah, well, you and I had spoke a little bit about this offline, and I think inevitably the older you get, I think the more you recognize, you have a lot of self-reflection about who you are and what you want to be, known for, and what you want to be a part of. And so I've been mature enough to know now what that is for me, and a blue collar mentality, a chip on your shoulder, a physical, right, a competitive environment are things that I know that I want to be a part of. That's that's who I am. And to go through that with Coach Leipold for 11 years at the 3 different schools we were doing that, and to make sure in interactions with Coach Franklin to recognize that's how he runs this program. And those are questions, right? Like you don't know those sort of things, and so I wanted to be sure that those were what he's about, and through the communication, the interview process, and getting to know him, through the years before, you could see that, you know what I mean, and recognize that. So when the opportunity came, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. When you got to Penn State, then, first couple of weeks on the job, what was the thing that surprised you the most? You have this idea of what it's going to be like at Penn State.
Yeah. So I would tell you that I get here. I don't know that I was surprised. It's hard not to say you're surprised with the fanaticism that surrounds the Penn State family.
You're a celebrity day one here.
A little bit to that, but and that's part of being a divisional coach. But like it's the flagship school in the state. You know what I mean? And so the fans and the way they are and the passion that they have. That I don't want to say I was surprised by that, but it's still when you see it and you feel it, it's hard not to be like kind of have a reaction. But I remember going and I'm watching practices, and so they were preparing for the bowl game, and I was kind of in an observatory role a little bit and learning guys and seeing how they interact, but just watching at how physical they were as a football team. You know what I mean? And that was something that I was like, yes, and it was at that time of the year, right? So it's they're about to play their 13th game. And they still have the physicality piece, and they're developing players that maybe didn't play as much throughout the course of the year. Those 2 things really stuck out right away when I first got here.